Good morning. I hope everybody's having a good day. Remember to attend the presentation for the Writers Conference at Merriam Auditorium at noon if you're able to. And remember, if you're not able to attend that, you'll we'll try to get a video posted as soon as Dr. Reese makes one available to me. And then those of you who can attend can also write the summary response for the bonus points. There are really two things I want to get done here as I try to wrap up Holes. One of them is talk about a literary term and how Holes, I think, uses that literary term well. And then the second one is just to clear up a loose end that I think a lot of people overlook. It's one of the great pieces of fiction that's created in the novel. The thing I want to talk about is foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is the introduction early in the story of verbal and dramatic hints that suggest what is to come later. I believe that the key word is hints. This is not hitting you upside the head with a hammer saying, "Notice me." These are hints. And hints can be dropped and hints can be missed. And in fact, I think foreshadowing is something that people notice on a second or third reading of a book, not necessarily in the first reading of a book. The way I've always looked at foreshadowing is I should have known. As I am reading and I come to the conclusion, if I'm a little bit surprised, but I start thinking seriously about all of the things that transpired beforehand, I should have known. The hints are dropped, the hints are there. The second thing is that foreshadowing should not attempt to deceive people. Foreshadowing should not be something where there's a bunch of extraneous details. The Chekhov quote on the right: "There's a rifle on the wall at the beginning of the story, it better go off by the end of the story." The author needs to set things up, and the author needs to provide a payoff. One of the examples I use quite a bit is the novel The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. It is one of my favorite novels of all time. However, there's the death of the chauffeur, Owen Taylor, and we never get that death resolved. Chandler, in interviews, claims he forgot. And in fairness, readers, I think, tend to forget because Chandler packs a whole lot of other detail in there. There's blackmail to deal with, there's murder to deal with, there's concern about a dying old man, there's concern about his daughter who has mental illness. There are a lot of details to work with in that novel where it's easy to forget. However, I think Chandler just forgot a key plot detail. Let alone a hint. He forgot a key plot detail and didn't resolve it. Foreshadowing should be hints of what's to come. That it should leave the reader with the idea, I should have known, and if there's a hint, that hint should pay off. All right? It should be developed by the time we get to the end. I don't know when we should have guessed the ending. On the screen, I have 4 or 5 spots of things that paid off at the end of the novel that perhaps we should have noticed. Zero and Zerone, perhaps we should have thought of that almost immediately. The yellow spotted lizards living in holes, eating the shells of sunflower seeds, the fact that Stanley's going to be in a hole, the fact that Mr. Sir has sunflower seeds. Perhaps we should have thought of the payoff long before the onions. When Zero asks the question about red X's, perhaps we should have thought of that connection as well. And they were definitely looking for something. If they're looking for something, somebody's got to find it. It's like the gun or the rifle on the wall. It had better go off. Okay? But I'm not sure anybody, at least the first time through, connected it to Stanley's great grandfather and his lost wealth from kissing Kate Barlow, even stolen by kissing Kate Barlow, even though all of that story is told in various parts as we go through the thing, and it weaves in, for example, the thumb of God. But somehow, at least the first time through, I never thought about that they were going to actually find the lost treasure of his great-grandfather. Last thing I want to talk about, I feel like I'm bursting everybody's bubbles with discussions of whether Bay wrote A Long Way Gone truthfully, that it represented his true experiences. And here, the yellow-spotted lizards mentioned in the movie and the book don't exist. There are lizards called yellow-spotted lizards, but they are not venomous, and they are certainly not big and dangerous. And the venomous lizards in North America don't fit the description of the yellow-spotted lizards within the book. It was one of the great fictional creations of the novel, and I think, I'm not trying to burst anybody's bubble here, but sorry, they don't exist. If you go to Camp Green Lake and you sit in a hole, you will not be destroyed by the yellow-spotted lizard, and you don't have to worry about eating Sam's onions first. Okay, this one's really short. Please make sure you watch the video about the Tragic House of Atreus, because I think the Tragic House of Atreus connects to the curse, and it shows how Stanley and his actions tie to one of the most famous cursed families in literature. All right. Again, I hope you have a good time at the presentation. If you can't attend, I'll try to make the video available for you. Remember, there's a quiz on Friday. Everybody have a good day.